XRP is shaking up global finance, and banks are terrified.
There's a massive quantum shift happening. And if you can't see it, you need to look around for just a moment. Why are so many people living broke right now?
We're all feeling inflation right now.
Americans are paying the price for rising inflation.
And many people don't exactly know why.
The more dollars that get printed, the more that gets put into circulation, the higher the prices of all of these assets are going.
It's an old archaic banking system.
It's pretty apparent at this point that we're in a transition.
It seems like we're on the brink of a major collapse. I think it's almost undeniable.
Why? XRP isn't just another crypto token. It's fast, borderless, and built to replace a system so outdated it's practically a relic. Welcome back to Wealthy Wise, the channel where we break down the biggest moves in crypto, finance, and investing so you can stay ahead of the curve. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join a community built on research, not hype. Today, we'll trace how XRP went from a radical idea to a real-world disruptor, why regulators fought it so hard, and why banks are scrambling to adapt. Inflation is hitting every corner of the globe. Prices are rising, debt is ballooning, and banks are slow to respond. Traditional payment systems like SWIFT, which moves trillions daily, are decades old. A wire transfer can take days and cost $30 or more. Banks profit from this inefficiency. XRP was built to change that, a frictionless network where value moves like email. Years before Bitcoin, Ryan Fugger dreamed of a financial system without gatekeepers. In 2004, he launched Ripple Pay, a community credit platform. Years later, Jed McCaleb, a crypto pioneer, partnered with Chris Larsen, a fintech veteran, to build a digital asset that didn't rely on mining. With Fugger's blessing, they launched OpenCoin. Their small San Francisco office became ground zero for a financial revolution. Working under flickering lights, McCaleb, Larsen, and cryptographer David Schwartz created the XRP Ledger, XRPL, a decentralized network capable of processing transactions in seconds, not days. By 2015, the team rebranded to Ripple. This wasn't a hobby project, it was a statement. XRP was designed to upgrade global finance. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, XRP uses a consensus mechanism that doesn't rely on miners. Transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, with fees less than a cent. Schwartz explained it best. Send dollars in, they turn into XRP, shoot across the world, and come out as pesos or yen, instantly. Early tests between the US and Mexico proved its power. Families who once paid high remittance fees now received funds in seconds. XRP wasn't just faster, it was proof that blockchain could scale for real-world finance.
XRP is part of the heartbeat of Ripple.
You had kind of the ability to exchange anything of value in a very efficient way through this ingenious pathfinding algorithm.
The utility aspect of XRP, you can move value from one place to another place instantly for a very, very nominal cost.
Instead of it taking 3 to 5 days for a payment to go through from one bank to another cross-border, now takes 3 to 5 seconds. That's a game changer.
They would have globally dominated the entire industry, but for the regulators pulling them back and Congress kind of not getting with the program.
Initially, Ripple pitched XRP as a way to bypass banks entirely, but bankers were skeptical. Too fast, too new, too risky. So Ripple shifted strategy. Instead of fighting banks, they'd integrate with them. Products like Xcurrent and Xvia wrapped XRP in enterprise-friendly software. By 2019, Ripple had over 300 institutional partners, from Santander to SBI Holdings. The vision? Replace SWIFT with RippleNet, where banks could settle instantly. In 2017, XRP went mainstream. Its market cap briefly surpassed Ethereum, hitting a price of $3.84 in January 2018. Media coverage exploded. Investors saw XRP as the bank coin, a safe bet on crypto's future. But the bubble burst. Prices plunged over 90%. Many projects would have died, but Ripple doubled down, signing new partnerships and expanding corridors worldwide. By 2020, XRP was still a top 5 crypto, but its future hinged on something Ripple couldn't control: regulation. December 2020, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, dropped a bombshell, accusing Ripple of selling $1.3 billion in unregistered securities. The lawsuit named CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen personally. Exchanges panicked. Coinbase, Kraken, and others delisted XRP overnight. Liquidity in the US dried up. While Bitcoin and Ethereum soared in 2021's bull run, XRP lagged under $2. Critics declared it dead. But Ripple fought back, arguing that XRP was a currency, not a security. The case dragged on for years, with every motion dissected by analysts and YouTubers. It became a referendum on crypto regulation in America. In July 2023, Judge Annalisa Torres ruled XRP was not a security when traded on public exchanges. The decision sent shockwaves through crypto. Exchanges rushed to relist XRP. Its price jumped 70% in a day. Ripple wasn't entirely off the hook. Institutional sales violated securities laws, and the SEC hinted at appeals. But it was a turning point. Crypto finally had clarity. While the lawsuit dominated headlines, Ripple kept building. In 2025, they launched RLUSD, a fully regulated US dollar-backed stablecoin, and acquired Hidden Road, a brokerage network, for $1.25 billion. They also piloted central bank digital currency, CBDC projects in Bhutan and Palau. The XRP Ledger introduced automated market makers, AMMs, and tokenization features, positioning itself as infrastructure for global finance. By mid-2025, XRP smashed its previous all-time high. Traders who held through years of lawsuits were vindicated. For the first time, the narrative wasn't about survival. It was about dominance. Traditional finance relies on intermediaries, correspondent banks, clearinghouses, and SWIFT. These systems generate billions in fees. XRP threatens all of it. With RippleNet, a $10 million cross-border payment can settle in seconds, cutting costs by up to 70%. For banks, that's lost revenue. For customers, it's a revolution. Ripple's partnerships with central banks signal something bigger. XRP isn't competing with the system. It's becoming the system. August 8th, 2025, Ripple and the SEC filed a joint dismissal. Ripple agreed to pay a $125 million fine, but secured legal clarity. XRP is not a security. Analysts now expect an XRP spot ETF, potentially backed by giants like BlackRock. For Ripple, this marked the end of a 4-year war. For crypto, it set a precedent. Decentralized assets with real utility can survive regulatory scrutiny. Behind XRP's story is one of the most passionate communities in crypto. From YouTubers to Telegram groups, the XRP Army defended Ripple during its darkest days. Their message: XRP isn't a meme coin. It's a tool to reshape finance, tokenize assets, and democratize value, just as the internet democratized information. Experts predict that by 2030, nearly all financial assets, stocks, real estate, even commodities, will be tokenized. Ripple's technology positions XRP as the bridge between these assets and fiat currency. This isn't about speculation, it's about infrastructure, and it explains why banks, governments, and regulators are paying attention. The battle over XRP was never just about one coin. It was about the future of finance. Could a decentralized ledger replace a system that's been in place for decades? The SEC fight proved XRP could survive regulatory fire. Ripple's partnerships proved it could scale globally. Now, with lawsuits behind it and adoption accelerating, XRP is no longer just a cryptocurrency. It's a blueprint for a new financial era, one where money moves at the speed of information. Banks have every reason to be worried, because XRP isn't coming for their business. It's rewriting it. That's it for today's deep dive on XRP and why banks are so worried. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button to support the channel, subscribe to WealthyWise, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big story in crypto and finance. We're just getting started here, and your support helps us keep making high-quality content for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.